At this point, we don't know. This could be hell right here. We don't know. Look around. This could be hell right here. We don't know. Look around. So stop crying every time somebody go to heaven, because this really could be hell that we're living in right now. And now you worried about the wrong thing because you're in God's business. Get out of God's business. The majority of our problem is because we are trying to manage everything that comes at us, and that is not what God intended for our life. He intended for us to complete our assignment here, and for us to entrust Him with our worries, with our anxiety, with our concerns. And what we're doing is we're trying to manage both. Okay? And so what I want to do is I want you to don't listen to respond. I don't want you to listen to understand. I want you to take a breath, and I want you to drop your face. I want you to drop your face. Well, however many years old you are, you've been controlling the muscles in your face for that long. Okay? So imagine if you were carrying 2 arms full of groceries. At some point, you're going to have to release those groceries, right? However, you've been controlling and holding up the muscles in your face and your cheeks under your eye for however many years you've been aware of your facial expression, right? I want you to drop your face. I want you to drop your face. It's over now. It's over now. And I feel like I can make it. The storm is over now. You remember when you were in the midst of your storm and you could not see over that hump right there, that barrier was blocking you, and you couldn't see how green it really was on this side. Now in the worldly realm, the grass ain't always greener. You understand what I'm saying? But in the godly realm, okay, the grass will always be greener. So whenever you get ready, right, to smell that fresh grass on the other side, God is He's gonna welcome you with open arms. Okay? But the only way to gain access to that side, to that godly grass, right, is to let go of perversity. Okay? Things that we know are not okay. Okay? But we do them anyway. Alright? And now we live in a world where people get upset and they get mad because some people don't accept the things that we know are not right. Like now, in the religious realm, we want to accept everything, even things that make us uncomfortable, even things that are not of God, because we feel like God wants us to be accepting of everybody, which is not the truth. God wants us to love everybody, right? Just like your parents love you. Even when you get in trouble or even when you cause them grief, your parents are still going to love you. You have to pray for that godly type of love. That's not a type of love that you're going to just be born with. But however, we have to stop expecting God to accept us. We have to stop expecting godly people to override the ruling of God just to make you feel comfortable and accepted. Because I know even me, as a fairly decent person, is some things that I still have to work on, and I cannot expect God's kingdom to accept me with these things going on. You understand what I'm saying? And some people walk around, it's not that nobody is better than anybody else, it's the fact that some people walk around not acknowledging the things, the perversity that they need to change in their own life. You may not, it might not even be fixed. Just like I said, nobody's a saint, not here on this earthly realm, right? So as long as you accept the fact that the things that you're doing need to be fixed, God is going to work with you, right? But when we walk around here in perversity and just with this chip on our shoulder, like, if you're a Christian, you got to love me and accept me however I am. And that's not true. And I wouldn't want a Christian to accept me as I am, because I have another place to go. And I don't want y'all to sell me a facade here on earth, and then when I get to heaven, I can't get in. I can't get in because y'all sold me a facade down here on earth. So I'm banging and nobody's not coming to the gate for me because I bought the facade that they were selling me on earth. And you got people that's riding around smelling like $1 million, looking like $1 million, driving cars that's $1 million. And they fairly good people, but they got some perversity shut down up inside of them, right? That they not acknowledging. That's worse than the crackhead that's on the corner, because the crackhead that's on the corner know he got a problem, right? He's already acknowledged the perversity in his life, but it's these clean cut, smelling people that got the problem because they got that perversity shut up in their bones. You understand what I'm saying? A constant friend is his eye. Eyes on the sparrow. He's watching. And if you ever feeling like alone, or you feeling like you don't know your purpose, or not even that, because I never felt like I did not know my purpose. I always felt like I was stretching myself too far thin with the purpose, right? But if you ever feel like you're just in a lot of places with your purpose, or if you ever feel like you're not sure your purpose, remind yourself of the people that you have watching over you. Because not only they're watching over you, they're sending a beam down, right? And they have installed into you the things that they were doing. Just like when you get promoted on a job and the person that gets promoted, they train the person below them. So you have people who have sacrificed, who have closed out their lives for you. You have people in heaven that have closed out their lives for you, whether that be to save you medically, whether that be to gift you with the gifts and the talents that they had. The people in heaven, the angels in heaven, have closed out their lives for your benefit. And now they're watching you live out their legacies. They're watching you live out their gifts and talents. They watch you carry the torch and do the things that they was doing, even if it was their personality. Because some people, your personality is what makes you rich, right? Your personality, your spirit, your heart posture, that's what makes you rich. So some people in heaven have passed down to you. You have inherited a godly richness, a soul in your uniqueness in yourself. And a lot of that comes from the people that we have in heaven. Melodies from heaven. You know, we all go through phases where we're just kind of not even rebellious, but you know, we're trying to figure ourselves out. So when I was in college, and I got caught 2 times talking about people that I cared about, right? So I stopped talking about people. I don't talk about people behind their back, and if you do it, then I'm going to cut you off as well. So now, my original reason for not talking about people is just because I didn't want to keep getting wrapped up in drama. But now, I don't talk about people because I just, I want to go to heaven. I want to go to heaven. I really, really, really want to go to heaven. It's some people that I want to catch up with. As an adult, as a full-fledged adult, you have to realize that you have to call a truce at some point. Not with another person, but a truce with yourself. If you going around and doing things that make you have to either plan it out or stop and think about it, it's not God. That's whenever you have to think about, is this right? Did I have to do something that was kind of funky to do this? Or when I have to think when I have to double think something that I'm doing, I already know that it's not God. And as a full-fledged adult, I'm not going to do it. Okay? Millions of ideas run through our head every single day. Whether that, sometimes, let me give you an example. Sometimes I'll see a post or something like that. I'll see all of these comments and it's funny, Like I say, mine is always from a fun, innocent place. But that's not how people going to receive it. Be wanting to comment, and just my regular self, not meaning any harm, but I have grown to know I'm going to stop myself. Because if I cannot take anything that I dish out to people, then I'm not going to do it. If I can't take out anything that I can dish out to people, I'm not going to do it. If I have to think about, is this right? Or if I have to call my homegirl and say, girl, guess what I'm about to do? I know that that's not God. And I know that I shouldn't be doing it. And that's another part of the perversity that we have to let go of. I'm not going to pry However, let me tell you something. There's several people under the sound of my voice right now who have bitten into something that ain't for their taste buds. And now you got all of these people at the dinner party staring at you, and you done bit into something that ain't your taste buds. It got cloves in it. So you holding it in your cheekbones, right? You can't swallow it because it's not for you. It's not for you. The taste is not for you. And because you got all of these people at the dinner party looking at you because you done made a deal of it, right? You done piled up this big old plate, not knowing the ham had cloves in it. Now you afraid to put the ham down. Whether you eat the ham or you place the ham back in the trash where it needs to go because it got cloves on it, it's not going to affect the lives of the people that you tried to impress when you piled your plate up. There's some people under the sound of my voice right now who bit into something that ain't for their taste buds, and now they starving, they hungry. But they done bit into all of this ham. They done piled their plate up with all of this ham. And now they ashamed to throw the ham away in front of all of these people that they done showed out in front of at the dinner party. If that's you, a couple of things to keep in mind is that God did not create the courthouse. God did not create the courthouse. That's man-made. Another thing, if your yoke is not equal and you're laying in a bed with somebody whose yoke is just not equal with yours, you sacrificing your own salvation right there. It's somebody that's under the sound of my voice who done bit into something that they don't like. It got a bunch of onions or cloves or something in it, and now they're afraid to put it in the trash can because they done piled their plate up in front of all of these people at the dinner party. But it's time to throw that plate away. It's time to just fold that plate up and throw it away. Let's get into this celebrity status. I could be a celebrity for a million different reasons, right? Because I hit it on the educational side. I went and got my paperwork, right? And then on the personality side, I done did my footwork and I done got the connections that I need to get. But let me tell you something. The more and more that I scroll Instagram and I scroll social media, I'm looking and I'm just, it's like I'm trying to beat a clock. That's how I look at life. It's like I'm beating a clock. Like I'm running to the finish line. Because I got way too many people that I would like that didn't never make it to their finish line. So I can't worry about trying to be liked by y'all while I'm here. I can't worry about trying to get a Grammy while I'm here, because once I leave, that's it. When I leave, that's it. I'm going to go to heaven or I'm going to go to hell. And the things that I did here to make y'all like me ain't even going to matter. So like I say, the more that I scroll Instagram and other social media, I'm thinking to myself, you know what? That's like losing a whole storage unit, right? If you done worked all your life to make people like you, you can't bring none of that to heaven. The only thing that you can bring with you is your heart posture. So you got people out here putting on devil costumes for some Instagram likes. And we don't need to talk about visuals. They have this rule, right? If you get any type of government assistance, the rule is that the owner has to have a intelligence expectation of themselves. So if someone is going to get rental assistance, like as a low income person, and they sign a contract that's bad, they can get off on that. They can get out of that contract because the realtor or the person selling it is expected to have that knowledge that this person that they had signed those papers may not understand the terms in those papers. Something like that PPP stuff. Y'all can get off on that because the terms in those papers, they knew that with y'all intelligence, not your intelligence, but with just your experience in that, as new business owners, as young people, as whatever, they knew that with your level of experience in that, you may potentially, in your desperation because of the pandemic, they knew that you were vulnerable, and they knew that you may not have been able to accurately interpret what was in that documentation. So when people get the nerve to go around and put on a devil costume, and then they start talking about we haven't seen a devil. When people get the nerve to start posting pictures of Jesus, and they start saying this clown here ain't my God, but life is about symbolism. We know exactly when we see a picture of Jesus. When I was growing up, when you was growing up, Jesus was. We don't care. That Jesus that we see on that paper, that's Jesus. That is Jesus. That is God. Because we never interpreted him as a color, right? That's symbolism. That ain't got nothing to do with race. When them people made that when that image was created, that wasn't even on those people's mind. It's all about symbolism. So if you go out here, you put on a Satan costume. No, we ain't seen Satan, but you know what that means, right? And that's where that perversity in your life come from. So if I got to do all of that to be a celebrity, to be liked, and then I know that I'm gonna have to forfeit my storage, unit when I get ready to go back to God, then I don't need it, because I'm not putting on no Satan costume. I already walked through my wilderness, and when I walked through my wilderness, it was me and God up in that wilderness. It wasn't me, God, and my 1,800 Facebook friends. It was not me, God, and my extended family. It was me and God. So guess who I owe my debt to? Guess who I owe my loyalty to? Okay? And if somebody don't feel like God, because that's who I'm loyal to, God. So if you don't feel like God when I'm in your presence, it ain't gonna work out. Why do I have to prove to man that I'm happy? Why do I have to prove to man that I'm not going through nothing? Why do I have to prove to mankind that I'm not going through nothing? Because y'all are so used to picking up the phone or logging onto the internet, and just because you say you going through something, the responder gonna tell you that they going through something. No, baby, you on your own. I ain't going through nothing because I've been praying. I done stopped talking about people. Okay? No, you going through something. And I don't have to prove to anybody that I'm not going through nothing. Do y'all realize that? If you just content with your life, people around you think something is wrong with you. No, something is wrong with you. If you content and like kick back, you content and kick back with your life. So if you ever felt in a place in your life where you're like, oh, I did not deserve the things that those people put me through. You didn't. Essentially, you did not. But you would not be where you are today without the things that those people did to you. Okay? So we don't dwell in that. Okay? Because we have two choices. Either accept the things that have shaped us, or be miserable about things that we cannot change. So you did not create me to worry. You did not create me to fear. Let me turn this down. Yeah. My name is Bloomy, and these are my thoughts.